or sometimes just hearing somebody else's story put into words that maybe just kind of help you understand what you're going through in ways that you haven't thought of before. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Hendrickson, and if you are brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you're not feeling good about where you are right now, then at least having the confidence knowing that you are getting at least 1% better every single day. And if you're not new to this show, then thank you very much for coming back, supporting the cause, supporting the journey, and supporting the idea of making yourself at least 1% better every single day. And along the way, lifting other people up as well. And so, whether you're brand new to this podcast or not, I just want to say thank you very much for being here. And from the very bottom of my heart, I mean this. You are the reason that I do what I do. And so, what's going on? How's everybody doing? It is Friday evening. I just got home from work, and before I do my little workout and shower up and start doing the rest of my work for the night, I thought I'd jump on here and give a little podcast episode, give it a little chat. So, how's everybody doing? My week, my week was it was a long, exhausting week this week. Again, I got sick. It is what it is. I went to work every single day. I just the only thing that changed really was my exercise and my workout routines this week. I didn't go to any jiu-jitsu classes because I was just kind of coughing up a lung the whole time, and out of respect for the guys that I roll with, I just feel like maybe it's best if I just kind of do my own cardio and stretching and a little bit of weights. But just been kind of keeping to myself this week. It's been a long week with work. Worked a lot of hours this week. So, I'm just happy that, it's Friday night tonight. I get to relax a little bit. There's a little cough right there. But, I get to relax a little bit tonight. And then hopefully over this weekend, I just get to spend some time with some family, do a lot of time editing in the office here and just chilling out, trying to recover as best I can. And then hopefully Monday we're kicking it at 100% again. But it's been one of those weeks where you kind of just need to know when your body needs to rest, stuff that I've talked about before, and what that rest and self-care actually looks like. Taking care of making sure I'm still exercising and moving, jump on the spin bike at the very least, do a little walk, go for a walk with my girl, and just kind of stay moving, stay stretching, and just kind of making sure that I'm eating decent and getting good sleep and taking my vitamins, and that's pretty much it. That's all I can control for now. And so just hope everybody else is doing well. Just a little recap of my own week, but speaking of self-care, I wanted to kind of discuss, self-care in a different way than I normally do. You guys have heard kind of my different rants in regards to self-care, and how, there's a lot of people out there in the realm of mental health and self-development that I just really don't agree with. They they preach kind of self-indulgence as self-care, eating the junk food, drinking the booze, watching the Netflix or watching YouTube videos forever, and tons of screen time, tons of gossip, that kind of stuff. I really don't think that is conducive to self-care at all. I don't think that it puts you in a better or more advantageous position. I think that if anything, those types of things are actually detrimental to our mental health. And so I'm not talking about those types of things today. What I am talking about today in regards to self-care and I guess mental health would be kind of more therapy and therapy and counseling. And I think that these are kind of topics that a lot of people focus on or think about when it comes to their own mental health or self-development journey. They think I ought to get a counselor, I ought to get a therapist or some sort of a psychologist or psychiatrist, or I don't know, like there's always like this need for external help. And yeah, there's definitely a time and place where I think that getting external help is extremely beneficial. But if we were to be 100% honest, time and money can kind of be huge, I'd say, catalysts in regards to, or maybe just a big factor in regards to decision making. Because, I feel like a lot of the times, especially, in Canada and a lot of different places in the world right now, I feel like most people are kind of just working themselves to the bone, or at least they feel like they are. And I think that a lot of us feel like we might be stretched for time and money right now. And so if you were to think, I really want to make these changes in my life, I really want to make a step in the right direction, I feel like I need some external resources or personnel that might be able to help me out. However, I just don't really feel like I have the time or money. And so this idea of like, I'm just going to put it off. I'm just going to use whatever coping mechanisms I have right now until next paycheck, or when my schedule gets a little bit more freed up, and I'll deal with my mental health issues at that point. Or perhaps some people might feel just completely disenfranchised altogether and think that, that there's no hope. There's no way for me to kind of get the help that I need. The system's rigged against me. I just have no time. I have no money, whatever it could be. And so I wanted to make this episode because if you feel like you aren't able to find somebody that can help you out, or you don't know what to do or where to look, I just kind of wanted to give a few different suggestions just to kind of see, like, if you super need some help, then maybe some new ideas. I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel like if you super need some external forces or external people helping you out, I just want to remind people that I'm sure there's tons of different, like, there's all like online therapy platforms you could definitely like look on. Like look up some online therapy platforms and see if like maybe a cheaper, easier option for you is easier or better for you or works for you. I don't know. There's like fucking virtual doctor's appointments now, and I'm sure at this point you could probably even just like find some text service where you can just like bounce some ideas off somebody if you just really aren't interested in, I don't know. There's that. There's tons of different, clinics or maybe health centers that I'm sure that are available that maybe people don't even really know about, whether they're like community health centers or like community centers might offer some sort of thing like that, or maybe even like a church or like a local like university or college might have maybe like a psychology or department that maybe they're, I don't know, maybe looking for test subjects, and you might be able to find some help there. There's like support groups out there. Obviously, like we do our mental health hikes, and I know there's tons of different groups that are very similar. You might dive into some spirituality and find some sort of organization that you can find with a religion, or, aside from that, there's tons of different resources out there in forms of books and YouTube channels and podcasts to listen to. And, I feel like even just sometimes hearing somebody else's story, sometimes we don't really even need to, even tell our story sometimes to somebody else for us to understand it better. Sometimes just hearing somebody else's story put into words that maybe just kind of help you understand what you're going through in ways that you haven't thought of before. And so I do think that though having a counselor or a therapist or a doctor to talk to, or some sort of professional to speak with, is probably beneficial for most people. That being said, you don't even have to really always have like a professional or a, you know, you could try talking to a friend. You could try talking to your loved ones, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, a sibling, a best friend, something like that. Like, I think that a lot of us take the relationships that we have with people around us that love us for granted, and we don't understand that the resources that we have, these I think that it's kind of weird because I think, and this is just kind of one of my own random thoughts, and I don't know what you guys think about this, but I feel like the idea of having a counselor or a therapist really only became a necessity when we stopped relying on each other for connection and understanding. We stopped respecting our, elder, smarter people in society, and learning from other people's experiences and learning from other people's mistakes and failures and successes. We've become so entwined and connected. We've become so entwined and connected to our devices, our phones, our social media, our computers, our, video games, our fucking dating apps, our, all these different things that we're so connected to that we have no more bandwidth to connect with each other. And so, of course, society has shifted into a place where we have to just fucking pay people to listen to us and understand our emotions and kind of ask us the type of questions that, maybe our mentors or elders, should be connecting with us with. And maybe it's, maybe it's their fault, and maybe it's, everyone's just kind of hit this weird disconnect at the same time. But, I think that it's the most productive outlook to think maybe we need to establish that connection with the people that we love more and more, and just facilitate that natural form of just kind of talking through your emotions and talking through the situations you find yourself in life, to gain some outside perspective, whether you agree with it or not, just to kind of understand the situation from a different point of view or a set of eyes. And so I just think that if you are looking for, a lot of, or even just some external care or support in terms of that, like, I think that we really need to utilize the people around us more often and more effectively. And I think that, even further than that, I would go out on a limb and say, I think that a lot of us are looking for external help and external external assistance for an internal problem. And I think that all of us are definitely capable of reflecting on our emotions and, I think the struggles and the stresses that we deal with. I think that we're all perfectly capable of kind of reflecting on that and kind of asking ourselves some of the deep underlying questions that are necessary to ask. And, if you don't have practice with that, if you've never done it before, then obviously, like I said, reading books and listening to podcasts and watching YouTube videos about these types of topics are probably going to be a step in the right direction. But I think that a lot of us can just sit down with a pen and paper, or sit down with your phone and record yourself speak, or, speak to a loved one, and just kind of ask yourself. I had this weird anxiety kind of wave the other day where I just found myself kind of reflecting on a lot of my insecurities and my fears. And I had a good cry. And I remember while I was doing that, I was kind of practicing some breathing technique that I learned in the past to help me with my anxiety. And these kind of anxiety attacks or waves really just don't happen to me that often. So it kind of hit me by surprise. And I really haven't dealt with a situation like this in a while. And to be blunt, I think it's kind of just from just kind of tucking that stuff away for a little bit while I was grinding on some other stuff. But it kind of it came to the surface, and so I had to deal with that. And like I said, I was kind of just doing a breathing technique, some like kind of box breathing type of stuff. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but I'm sure you could look it up. I'm not a breathing exercise expert or guru at all. It's just one thing that I learned a long time ago that helps me during whenever I feel like that, and it doesn't happen often, but it happens. So I had to practice that. Anyways, while I'm doing that, I kind of feel these questions start to lurk into the forefront of my brain. And I start asking myself these questions of like, where's this pain coming from? Where's this fear coming from, this pit in your stomach? And, just kind of digging deep into these things, I was able to just kind of put my mind at ease and just start to understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and why it was manifesting why it was manifesting itself in a physical kind of way where I could feel it, the sensation of it. And for me, diving back into kind of more stoic ideas, I really had to analyze a lot of the things that I could and couldn't control. And so I guess the reason I brought that story up or this experience up is because I think a lot of the time it's easy to want to reach out for external help when we're dealing with something that feels overwhelming or overbearing. And I completely understand that response and that, desire to have somebody come in and be a hero for us and maybe just kind of, talk us through some of these things. But I think that sometimes when we are reaching for that external help, it can become a crutch in our own development eventually. I think maybe if you need to have some help starting off with this kind of stuff and learning how to ask yourself these types of questions and going down that route of cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever you do, maybe if you're just fresh to it and you've never tried these things before and it just seems so foreign to you, then yeah, maybe getting some help from a paid professional would be the best, step for you. And everybody's got a different journey, so that's perfectly fine. But I feel like a lot of us, kind of have the answers. We're just not willing to take the action. And so, I don't know. I feel like I'm almost talking in circles here, and so I'm probably going to close this episode out right now. But yeah, I guess it's just kind of like a friendly reminder to, if you're looking for some external help with your life, look out for some online resources, look out for whatever you can get your hands on in your community, or, just try and speak to some of the people that you love, people that are in your life that support and have your best interests. And then once you kind of can progress from there, it's like, well, how do I provide this help for myself? And then, I think that a lot of us, we kind of hold each other or hold ourselves to a fault where we think like, oh, but I have this negative feeling, I feel like I'm depressed, I feel like I'm anxious, how would I be able to help myself? And I think that a lot of us, obviously, that you can snap out of those dark times or those dark feelings, those dark, experiences, because you're not always in one. And so the idea that I think is the skill that you're looking to build is, I guess what I'm trying to say is what you would want to be doing then is then just to limit the time in between the negative feeling, the depression, the anxiety, and when it dissipates. And I think that a lot of us have a lot more capability than we give ourselves credit for in regards to being able to help ourselves. And then after that, I think that it's imperative to start to take actions on some of the things that could help put us in a better position so that we're not feeling the way that we're feeling right now. I think that a lot of us, we have dark days, dark times, whether it's a 15-minute, a full day, a full week, or whatever it could be. I think that I think that sometimes we feel those feelings of the depression, of the anxiety, for a short period of time. We feel this motivation of like, perhaps I really want to make my life different. I really want to change my life. I really want to improve myself. I want to feel better about myself. I want to feel happier. I want to feel more fulfilled. And then, we continue going down the same path that we're on. We continue kind of just like, okay, I'm not going to really take action on that right now. Maybe I'll do it a bit later. Maybe I'll, we start to maybe look for some of the easy ways out. It's like, okay, would I rather change my whole nutrition, my meal plan and how I eat, and my exercise routine and how I treat my body on a daily basis and how much I work out and exercise? Or should I just start taking this like trendy vitamin on Instagram, or start taking cold showers or cold plunges and walk around barefoot and sun my nuts and, I don't know, do all these little like cut out seed oils and do all these things. And we're willing to make these like quick and sexy, beautiful, like trendy changes in our lives so that we can tell people about it on Instagram and tell people about it that we meet in coffee shops or on the street. But it's pretty rare that we're willing to just actually stop eating garbage food and eat well for ourselves, and exercise on a daily basis, and have a personal reflection routine set up of just like either journaling or reading or meditating, or taking care of the essentials. Like I said, sleeping well, eating well, exercising hard, and reflecting, and making sure that you have a positive relationship with those around you. And so on that note, I think that I'm beginning to talk in circles, so we will close out this episode here. Just kind of some ideas on how you can reflect on yourself or try and search for external help if you don't have the time or don't have the money for therapy or counseling or anything like that. And so on that note, I will check in with you guys next Monday. Please let me know what you guys think about this. Have you used a therapist before? What was your experience with therapy or counseling? Have you tried any of these techniques by yourself, in a group setting, whatever it could be? Let me know what you guys think. Comment it in the comment section below if you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, or shoot me a DM on Instagram at Risen Fallen, or leave a little review on the podcast platform of your choice. And on that note, I'll see you guys on Monday. Much love. Peace out. I love you all. Bye.